Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode where we dive into the world of cybersecurity, but from an expert's perspective. It is my honor to introduce you to Usama Arif. With extensive experience in both the cybersecurity industry and teaching, Usama brings a unique blend of real world knowledge and instructional expertise to our episode today. It is his passion. In fact, cybersecurity was ignited during his early years as a professional in the field. And since then, he has had the privilege of working on diverse projects, protecting digital landscapes from evolving threats, and training the generation of next cyber defenders. Welcome, Osama, to our podcast. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Loz. It's a great introduction. And yes, I'm very happy to be part of this podcast and happy to share my knowledge, what I learned throughout the years with
Great.
you.
I'm excited for our listeners to hear more. So let's dive right into it. I'd like to know what inspired you to get into the world of cybersecurity and computer networking.
Yeah, that's a good starting question. My journey into the world of cybersecurity and computer networking began with a spark of curiosity during my teenage years. Like in my generation, I grew up alongside with the rapid expansion of internet. It was the time of excitement, endless possibilities, and few pitfalls. As I explored the online world, I started to witness vulnerabilities, threats that accompanied the digital revolution. So I was thinking, okay, so how to be a secure? Hacking incidents, data breach, potential of cyber crimes raised some a lot of question in my mind. And how could we enjoy the benefit of digital age while staying safe and secure? Well, that's the time where I decided to dive deep into the world of computers and networkings. I start learning about the inner working of systems, protocols, and infrastructure that powers the internet. It was like unraveling a puzzle, and I was hooked. Further into to cybersecurity subject, I realized that cybersecurity was not just about protecting data systems, but also about safeguarding the very fabric of our digital society. So, how we live in this digital world and feel safe and secure by yourself or your computer, your system, your around areas. So yeah, so then yeah, that's the main thing. I started deep dive into this.
That's amazing. I love how you went from having a curiosity about it, trying to fix a problem, trying to avoid problems, and then learning, acquiring the knowledge, learning more about it. Now you've built this amazing career. So that's so wonderful to hear that beginning, of your journey.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of this.
Yes. So I would love to learn more about the educational path that you've taken to fine tune your skill set, especially, at the beginning, and then fast forward to what you're doing now to also upgrade your skills.
Uh, yeah, I think education plays a vital role in the building of strong foundation in cybersecurity. Although the things arrive in my mind that how we secure, start learning aside. But my journey began with a bachelor degree in computer science, and then I start deep dive more. I did master in cybersecurity, and this was a starting point as it provided me a solid understanding of how computer networks operate at a fundamental level. It's essential to grasp the basics because cybersecurity is all about protecting these systems from the threat. So after completing my bachelor degree, I knew I wanted to dive deeper into world of cybersecurity. So as I said, I did master program in cybersecurity and information assurance. This graduate program was a game changer for me. I covered wide range of topics from network security, cryptography, ethical hacking, incidents reports, and it was like comprehensive roadmap to understanding the cybersecurity journey. During my master program, I developed areas such as network security, where I learned how to protect different networks from various threats. Information security management, because cybersecurity, there is a lot of different fields: security compliance, security policies, how to build policy in cybersecurity. So that's you learn from the education, right? So and that's plays a very huge role. Then I saw, okay, now what we do best into that. I see that there are some online courses, boot camps, certifications. So I explore more, evolving into the field. I did security certifications, ethical hacking certification. I did some trainings, and that enhancing my skills and credibility in the industry. And then furthermore, I actively participating with cybersecurity competitions. There was an event, capture the flag event. So these are, they give the hand challenges to apply your knowledge in the real world scenario, to sharpen your problem skills, collaborate with others in cybersecurity community. So this, I bring that combination of formal education, certification, practical experience, and commitment to continuous learning, fine tuning my skill set in cybersecurity. So, and now I'm here today to kind of sharing my knowledge with all the other people.
Yes, absolutely. I know that we have an info session coming up next week, and you are one of our trainers at the cybersecurity levels that we have. We have level one, level two, and so I am super excited for everyone to kind of hear what your journey has been like, and be inspired to attend and learn more and come with questions, because you're the expert, so you'll be able to give them that hands-on point of view, if anything. So that's wonderful. I know that from what you have spoken about, it seems that upgrading your skills, staying current is like the number one thing, and always, because cybersecurity is like this ever evolving industry, a situation where you need to constantly be updated. And so I'm really like, it's wonderful to hear that. It's just not like something that you learn once or twice, upgrade a few times, and that's it. Like, you're constantly evolving in that field.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, Osama, looking back at the path that you took to get where you are now, is there anything that you would have done differently? In other words, what advice would you give to someone who is considering this field, and what are some steps that they can take in this today's world, for example?
Yeah, if someone interested in pursuing a career in cybersecurity, I highly recommend starting with a strong educational foundation, then continue expanding your knowledge and skill through practical experience, ongoing learning opportunities, boot camps, trainings. It's a rewarding field with a plenty of opportunities for those who are passionate about protecting digital assets and ensuring a secure digital future. Reflecting on my journey, I would say that while I'm contact with how things have turned out, there are certainly some insights I can share with those who just starting out in cybersecurity. First, I advise aspiring cybersecurity professional to embrace continuous learning.
Yes.
This field evolves at breakneck pace. What's relevant today might be obsolete tomorrow. So start staying updated with the latest trend, threats, technologies. There are some practical steps in the career of cybersecurity. For example, foundational education, a specialized education, certifications, hand-on practice, networking. Build your soft skills, and continual improvement in this field. While I wouldn't say I have regret, I do believe that I could have benefit even more from networking and mentorship earlier in my career. The things I learned after, going through those should be before, so if you have a good mentors, if you have good, who will share those things, at that time there's no boot camps, there is no learning opportunities. So that's, something I miss. If I learn that in an early stage, that, will be more beneficial. So my advice to those who start seeking out mentorship actively: connect with, like-minded professionals in the field. It can accelerate your growth and provide valuable insights to them.
Yes, that's a good point. Mentorship is something that, generally speaking, everyone should, regardless of which field that they're going into. But because cybersecurity, especially being an IT, field that is ever evolving, constantly changing, it's nice to get that expert's advice, and how you can pivot and how you can, move to the next step in your career, and what skills set that you should focus on, or topics that you should focus on, learning experiences, etc. And like you said as well, like networking, that's such a big part of, especially because of your flexibility to work from home. You can work from anywhere. And so as a, cybersecurity professional, when you're networking with others, like, there's so many opportunities, I'm sure, that you can open that world to. So that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So, looking at the progression of the cyber world, for example, what is your opinion, or rather, kind of expanding on, because you touched on it a little bit, what is your opinion on the advancement and how fast cybersecurity is becoming a trend?
So in a current digital world, we digitalize after COVID hit, right? So we everyone is digitalized right away.
Yes.
So I see it as a both, as an opportunity and a challenge. One, on the one hand, the rapid advancement of cybersecurity signifies that we are recognizing the critical role it plays in our increasingly digital society.
Yeah.
Organization and individuals are becoming more aware of importance of protecting their digital assets, personal information and privacy. So the awareness has led to increased investment in cybersecurity measures and development of innovative solutions. And then we talk about the challenge are significant as well. As cybersecurity gains prominence, cyber criminals are becoming more sophisticated and creative in their attacks. So they adapt quickly to new security measures, and their attacks are becoming increasingly difficult to detect and mitigate. This constant arm race between cybersecurity professionals and, actors keep the field dynamic, but also intensifies the pressure on those responsible for defending digital assets. For organizations, fostering a cybersecurity culture is, crucial. This involves not only investing in the right tool and technologies, but also educating employees about security, best practice, creating a shared responsibilities for cybersecurity. So, if we calculate overall things, the future of cybersecurity holds immense promise, and likely see even more innovative solution, including advancement of in artificial intelligence
Mhm.
and machine learning for threat detection, blockchain for secure transactions, authentication method of, enhance. So cybersecurity will continue to intertwine with other fields, such as data privacy and regulatory compliance. So think about that. Cybersecurity plays a vital role. Either it's an accounting and finance, is an industry, is a banking information, anywhere. You're using a computer, you
Yes.
have a cybersecurity knowledge you should have, and there is a vulnerability threats. So the key to success in this field will remain adaptability, continuous learning, commitment to our digital future. So yeah, in this world, this is very important to have a knowledge or gain knowledge of that. Even in, artificial intelligence or machine learning will rely on these things. If your system is secure, you're good with doing anything.
So, speaking about cyber threats getting more and more advanced, in your experience, what are some examples of this?
Um, in my previous experience, there is, a lot of examples or a lot of, experience. I witnessed there is a lot of attacks on cyber attacks on those things. So I can provide you with some example of advanced cyber threats that were affecting personal computers, personal information. So please keep in mind that the threat is continuously evolving. So there may be new developments since then. Uh, Advanced ransomware. So this is name of a threat. So that's what that do. That attack on a personal computer and become more sophisticated. Now attacker have started using some more advanced encryption techniques. Malware, phishing attack. When you use a browser of your computer and put some information, you store your passwords and all. So what those kind of things, they send an information to your system, and when you type something on your system, that generate an email to them, and they're able to see that what keyboard button you are typing, and from that keyboard button and the typing, they pull up the word as a password. For example, you log into your social website, Facebook or any other, right? You put a username and password. Now whatever you are typing on a keyboard, that information save in your computer and send to them. Now that's why they always mention to have a strong password which does not relate to any keyword or
Mhm.
anything. If they're trying to fetch anything from alphabets, they won't. So that's more things I see. This cryptojacking is another one. Some attacker deploy malware on your personal computer to secretly mine cryptocurrencies. These things previously came in. Credentials stuffing is the one I experienced. A lot of people, they use artificial intelligence to automate and improve their attack. For instance, AI can be used to generate realistic sounding voices.
Mhm.
So right, so these are, that's why I said if there is an AI, this is also important, so there is no misuse of
Yes.
machine learning stuff. So to protect personal computer from these advanced threats, individuals should follow best practices such as regular update their software operating system, strong techniques using password, enabling two-factor authentication, and staying informed about the latest cybersecurity threats, trends in maintaining personal computers. So yeah, that's these are the things which I learn after having those kind of attacks on the computers.
Oh, wow.
I see that around, but that's at the same time very who can say that difficult to track in current world.
That's really good that you shared some tips for our listeners, because I'm sure that there's some things that we just don't think about. It's not obvious on our end as a user. We're not going to be alerted to do the two, step factor authentication or any other types of authentication, because hey, we're comfortable. We want to be able to log in, access our things, and move on with the day, right? And so you're right. And especially with AI sophistication and with callers and etc., manipulating the voices, and so there's a lot going on in the cyber world for sure that we need to be very cautious about for sure. Yeah. So, do you have any fond experiences that you'd like to share with the listeners, whether it's a particular job, for example, or a project that you worked on, or you can give us an insight even as to what a daily life as a cybersecurity professional looks like?
Yeah, so previous I shared that personal level things, right? So
Yes.
but I remember one project that's stands out happened a few years ago when I was working on one of the financial institute or industry. So we received alert about a potential cybersecurity breach. It was one of those moments that truly put our skills and training to test, right? When we received that alert, our first step was to investigate the incident. So that's normally a guy will do. And we had to determine the scope of breach, how it occurred, and what data might have been compromised. it was like solving a complex puzzle, right?
Hmm.
We quickly basically assembled a team of cybersecurity experts, and our day become, like wild of activities.
Yes.
So basically, if you think about a typical day during the incident was far from typical. To be honest, we work around the clock with pumping. Our tasks include forensic of these things, incident, happen, containment, communication, recovery. Once we, handle the breach, we focused on recovery. We restore affected system, monitor for any sign of further compromise, and took us security measures.
Hmm.
It took a tremendous amount of effort and teamwork, but we are able to successfully contain that breach, recover the affected system, close the vulnerabilities that had exploited. We also conducted through our post-incidents analysis to learn from experience and improve our security. So just like, and previously I said, hackers are also very smart. We never know what's they are more learning and what's they bringing now and where the breach is. So that's why it was challenging project, but highlighted the importance of preparation, collaboration, adaptability of cybersecurity field. If you have those kind of skill set and if you learn those things, you will able to tackle bigger challenges, things in the world of cybersecurity. So that's something, a team, a work. If something happened, so to a cybersecurity breach to any organization, so these are the steps we need to take to come that breach down and make sure that it's secure and sound onwards.
I don't doubt for a moment that you didn't succeed in that, because I'm sure you succeeded very well, and I'm sure you worked around the clock to fix those issues. So that's pretty cool that you shared that experience with us. I'm sure it happens a lot.
Yes, so you can't. It's a digital world. You have to be, build a strong things that you can monitor those activities to
Right.
impact your system.
No, that's wonderful to share, because it gives them a perspective. It's not a 9 to 5, or sort of like a regular shift type of position. It's you're kind of on call, and part of that is why you should be passionate about it. Wouldn't you agree? Because if you're not passionate, then what is the point of being on call? Trying to fix these cyber threats that are real, like pretty severe implications to lots of businesses, the businesses that you work for, right? And so you want to help them, and to protect their personal entities, and their properties, and so that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm just want to add on one thing. Like, someone open a company, they build a website.
Mhm.
Now, if a person can go and register to buy some info, like take example of AW, Amazon, right? We go, we put our information, we put our card information. How came to know that it's secure? So, the cybersecurity specialists, those who are passionate about that, to keep the user's information secure, that make sure that it's not, anyone can have it. So that's the more things that cybersecurity guys come in, so that the audience or the buyers can trust the businesses to make sure what they are doing
Yeah.
and where they're putting their information. So that's very important in terms of any company who advertise themselves in kind of a internet world.
Hmm. Yeah, they invest millions and millions into that to make sure that their customers, clients, etc., are coming in having a pleasant experience, as opposed to being any breach, having any breaches. So that's a good point. Absolutely. So, Osama, are there any insights that you have that we can look forward to in the future? Anything that comes to mind?
So the future of cybersecurity is both exciting and challenging, as we discussed. There are several keys, insights, and trends that we can anticipate. For example, artificial and machine learning will continue play significant role in cybersecurity. those technology will be used for threat detection or those kind of stuff. Cloud security, we heard the term cloud nowadays a lot. Why? Because everything is easy to put your stuff on a cloud. Even a OneDrive is a cloud, Google Drive is a cloud, you put your image
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So so there is a cloud security as well. So the security plays a role in every field. So with the increasing adoption of cloud services, cloud security will remain a top priority. Organization will need to ensure the security of their data and application. So cyber crimes are increasing. So cybersecurity skills gap, the demand of skilled cybersecurity professional will continue to outpace the supply. Closing the skills gap will be a priority, and we can expect increased investment in cybersecurity educations and trainings in kind of in their words. So preparation will be essential. Individual can stay ahead of pursuing ongoing cybersecurity education, certification, boot camps, keep themselves informed about latest threats and technologies. So for organization, investing in advanced security solution, create a culture of security awareness, developing. So it's not about only the guy who working as a cybersecurity awareness to the employees of the company who work there, to make sure that what kind of links they need to open, what kind
Mhm.
of emails they need to stop opening it, and inform the team the how to browse the system, those kind of stuff, right? So the more awareness comes in, that's more you bring a secure culture in your environment, in your organization.
Yes, it's true because, even as user, like for personal emails, there are so many emails that you get that look real, if it's from Microsoft, for example. But, if you look carefully, at the extensions, etc., you'll see that it's just a made up email address, and it's at etc extension as opposed to microsoft.com, and so it's just so interesting how, not to like praise hackers in any way or shape or form, but like they're getting more and more smart in terms of how to hack the average person, because you wouldn't know if you just opened up something and it's asking you for a payment because you didn't get a chance to pay that, etc., and it's coming from Microsoft, the logo's there, everything's there. It's just really interesting how, because that happens a lot. And so if you're an average user, be careful.
Yeah, to add on, like cybersecurity, like say who is learning is good learning.
Yeah.
And then info sessions, online learning, a small boot camps and all. I think this should take by everyone. Like my home space, I have internet running, I have 10 devices running on the doorbell cameras.
Yes.
So how to keep those secure thing, that you will learn from these things and experience how. So if you don't go to kind of these kind of learnings, how what kind of threats are there. The hacker won't advertise that, oh, I hacked that camera with the help of this way, right?
Exactly.
No,
Yes.
why they need to
Yes.
advertise? So they will learn from the experience who got attacked, and a professional cybersecurity professional who been through those things, who see, so they can share these things that, okay, this is going to happen, so make sure to protect yourself from that, your home, your personal computer, your devices. So that's why it's important for everyone to at least understanding of cybersecurity.
Yes, even especially like you said, the Ring cameras or whatever brand of cameras, those are like very invasive, right? It's your privacy, it's your home,
Yes.
and you have families and etc. And it's pretty scary that I've heard stories and cases where people have hacked into it and start speaking to children through these devices, and it's a very scary world. So absolutely 100% I believe that the more, even as a user, the more attentive, the more you educate yourself. You don't have to dive in as an analyst and go down that career path. For sure, you don't. That's a desire, a passion that you must have, right, in order to do that. But just from a user's perspective, definitely learn about how you can protect your home, because yeah, the average person has more than 5 devices, typically. And so whether it's the children's devices as well, which is super important to protect. And so, yes, I
So
agree with you.
also to add on, what I will bring the real time scenarios to this boot camp, or upcoming or every learning platform. So
Yes,
basically, when you put your cell phone and you're talking about cars, right? Next you saw the ads about cars.
exactly.
Now if your neighbors or anyone connected to your internet will see some ads, he click on, you see the ads.
Wow.
So there are some basic things you can. So this is your cell phone, you can control your cell phone. You can, so there is a lot of settings you can change, so then this won't happen. They won't heard your voices if they want to, right? So these are small settings which need to be changed on your even a basic cell phone to protect those kind of information as well.
Right.
So yeah, so basically there are small things, real time scenarios, how to secure your password, those things. I want to put those things and share those knowledge with the students whoever attend those, to make sure that they share the knowledge about how to secure their self, even a cell phone.
Right. So I hope everyone heard that. At this boot camp, we have, like I said, we have 2 levels. Cybersecurity, there are 2 levels. Go to our website to learn more. But as Osama mentioned, he is going to give you real life scenarios. Okay. So definitely attend and try to learn more about how to protect your personal and your business. And, make sure that you're bulletproof in as much as you can be in this cybersecurity world. Perfect. Now, Osama, I'm sure you would agree that because you've even touched upon it earlier about having soft skills being equally important, if you will, when working with today's employers and clients and the public. Are there any particular soft skills that cybersecurity experts should fine tune, for example?
Yeah, I think in the world of cybersecurity, or technical expertise is undoubtedly crucial, but soft skills are equally important.
Yes.
um, Cybersecurity experts often find themselves working in multidisciplinary team, interacting with non-technical stakeholders, dealing with high pressure situation. So make sure that there are some soft skills that should be fine tuned, or effective communication, to make sure
Yes.
need to convey a complex technical information in a clear and understandable manner. This includes explaining security risks to non-technical colleagues. So basically, for example, if something happened, the user or employer need to know what kind of impact. You can't say that, okay, there was a threat, you will resolve it.
Yes.
So make sure,
Exactly.
so right. So make sure that effective communication is, that skill is a very important in terms of. Second, problem solving. Cybersecurity is all about identifying and mitigating threats. Professionals in this field need a strong problem solving skills to access. So I saw in my, in my educating career or teaching career and all throughout, since decade I'm teaching and I'm working with. So whenever there is a threat, some employees or some users, they just kind of, oh, what to do now, they don't think about. So don't panic. So basically the problem solving skills, and we will learn how to develop these skills. So it doesn't hurt anything to kind of, if you stay back and don't do anything, and
Yeah.
so bring stress to your, so that more impact. So we learn about how to do a problem solving, adaptability, how to adapt new technologies, how to learn about new cybersecurity crimes. There are websites, there are some groups you can join. Ethical hacking. So when we talk about hacking, hacking is not always bad. There's ethical hacker who prevent. So let's say, I will give you one example. Google, they pay thousands of dollars to someone who find a breach in their website. So it doesn't mean that if some hacker find a breach and they say, oh, you're a hacker, it's illegal. No,
Yes. Yes.
that's called ethical hacking. You can learn, you can work with military, you can go work with government, you can go to company website, find a breach and let them know. So if you find a breach and don't let them know and then try to pull their data, that's illegal. If
Right.
you find a breach, that's something. So that's teamwork, collaboration, adaptability, ethical decision making is very important. Time management, awareness, those things. I think in one experience that comes in my mind, cybersecurity incident response I was involved in few years ago. We are dealing with significant data breach and the pressure was intense. So effective communication was absolute critical during this time, and I had to convey complex technical details to our executive team, board of director in a way that they could understand. This required technical, jargon into clear and concise languages. So we are taking mitigate the breach. So additionally, we had to collaborate closely with various teams within organization. So for example, like some of the one of the employer, they put a USB, right? And there's a breach. So data comes in. Now we need to collaborate with that to make sure that your communication is good enough, not hurting anyone.
Mhm.
He don't know to plug a USB and then so you have to kind of a teamwork to find and maintain that trust in the organization is very important. So yeah, I think these are the things you need to work on while learning cybersecurity, and the soft skills very important with that. You are a technical guy, but you should make sure the things bring a lot change when you're working with an organization.
That's excellent. I would agree with those as well. Just as someone who believes strongly in soft skills, I have more soft skills than hard skills, I believe. But um, but I do believe that it's very important, to make sure there's a balance, because if you're not able to communicate effectively, especially the problem to your employer, to your client, then it's causing unnecessary frustration and friction. So it's better to, learn how to do that effectively, and as well as you said, ethical hacking as well as problem solving, etc. It's all very good points. I believe that the same thing. I agree with you that that's good to know, good knowledge to have, and practice, especially because you have people in your life that you can practice with. You can practice with your significant other or your family members or friends, even friends who are in the same field, and try to help them, and to have more fine tuning their soft skills, which is really important. So definitely. So, Osama, you have given so many incredible insights, and I truly appreciate you. Now, in terms of the listener who is sort of interested and thinking about getting into cybersecurity, I have a question just for them. Okay. So, is it possible for someone with zero background in cybersecurity to switch careers? And if so, how do they do it?
uh, just switch careers. So basically, I will share a real-time incident, and that inspired me a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
So
Go ahead.
I was working in an organization. I've met with a one guy. He's senior manager in cybersecurity. He's close to retirement at that time, and I was like, and I impressed with his skill set. So he shared me his stories. He said, at the age of 40, I was chef. I was working in a restaurant. I was like, so he said, something come. Oh, I'm doing daily basis job. I'm paying bill and all. So I thought, let try yourself in a different field. He said, I saw an advertisement online. Join it. Oh, I just join it. Initially, that was a more like a web, learning, and I just enrolled that. I said, okay, now my interest becoming, I said, oh, I'm learning, my interest coming more. Then I thought, okay, same thing, when I come in a world of internet, then you go further. I said, okay, now I go to network, then I go to cybersecurity,
Hmm.
and now I'm here, like, running a bigger organization there. So that inspired me. I was in my mind, oh, if you are in 30s, you're whatever field
Yeah.
you choose, you're done till the life.
Yes.
So I said, okay, at age of 40, you change your career from chef, which is non-technical, never used computer before,
Yes.
to this level. he's expert in that. It inspired me a lot. I said, okay, now it means if I have to change something, you can change anything, right? So
Right.
if one can do, others can also do. So it is definitely possible for someone with a zero background in cybersecurity to switch career and pursue a career in cybersecurity. So there are a few steps. You can self-assessment and research. Some people start using computer. I don't even know what is computer. You
Mhm.
can find anything. When you start using it initially. So for example, take example of Samsung user. They said we don't like iPhone. When they start using it, they start using it. I was using Samsung before, and I said no, this is not user friendly. But
I
when
hope we're not starting an iPhone or a Apple, war here, okay? Because I'm a Samsung girl, so I don't know. I will never switch, okay?
No, no, I'm just giving you example of two different same thing, right? But online learning resources, educational foundation, hands-on practices, those things, and switching to a service career without background in this field, will require dedication, continuous effort, but it is entirely possible. Keep learning, networking, gaining hands-on experience over time. You will position to pursue a successful career in cybersecurity. So that guy's story inspired me a lot,
Oh, wow.
right? So I said, okay, whenever I have, so that's why I always learn new stuff. If something changed, I never said I'm behind. Oh, this is new thing is there. Well, let's learn about that.
Right.
Google have a language. Previously there are different languages. Scripting is another thing. Cybersecurity, there is a lot of field. Learn about new hacks. What people are doing around. So it's always learning. If you can adopt those learning, it's same thing with non-technical field to a technical, right?
I was just going to talk about that adaptability, as you said, not being intimidated by new threats or new things to learn, because there's always going to be something new to learn, especially in this field. And your survival rate is based on how much you can progress with meeting those threats, and solving those measures. And so absolutely. I am on the same page with you there. I think that's great insight for someone who's kind of thinking about, whether cybersecurity, because, it's kind of trending now, right? Getting, have a career in cybersecurity or in AI, etc. But, it's intimidating for people who aren't really sure. They think that there's a lot of math involved, or there's a lot of this involved, and, analytical skills wise as well. But I think you beautifully explained it. And, just so everybody knows, there's going to be an info session. So on Friday, September 29th, Usama is going to lead an info session at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And you can certainly email us at study@thecanadiancollege.ca. You can go to our website at www.thecanadiancollege.ca/bootcamps, and you'll see the info sessions listed there. Or you can go to /free/info/session, and you can see the info sessions there as well. But email us, call us, whichever is convenient. Usama is going to explain things as you have experienced here in this podcast, a very miniature version of that, where he'll explain far more things. And also, if you are a beginner, if you are more looking for a more advanced, we have 2 levels. And so he'll really be able to touch on that with you, as well as answer questions. So when you come to this info session, come with your questions, because that's what he's there for. He's there to answer, to help you feel comfortable in this field. So, Sama, thank you so much for spending the time with us to discuss the world of cybersecurity. I truly appreciate you taking this time, and I'm excited to see where we can continue to explore different courses together.
Thanks, Lars. It was a nice talk and nice to meet you as well. I would say to our listeners, welcome to World of Cybersecurity. And I'm delighted to be kind of a share an exciting journey into the real me of digital security with extensive experience bring with the industry and teaching. So see you soon, everyone who will be joining info session or boot camps and all.
Yes, thank you, everyone. We'll see you at the next episode.